Hi there, this is Evelyn Ben, the Assignment and Marketing Coordinator for Housing and Residence Life. The video you're watching is going to take you through Step 2 of the freshman housing application process. Step 2 is our roommate search section. So first things first, I'm going to have everybody navigate to the freshman housing application on our website. So you'll first want to go to emich.edu/residence life. From this page, you can click on this link here, Freshman Student Housing Application, to get to the freshman application. So in this section, there's a lot of information, but there's a finding and requesting a roommate subsection. So there is some information here about the opening and closing. So obviously the roommate section opens June 1st and closes at 5 p.m. on July 7th. So during this time frame, we ask all of our freshman students to log back into the housing application system, look at all the other students out there, and have a mutually confirmed roommate by 5 p.m. on July 7th. There's a little bit more information here, more detailed on the process and how to request, and questions you can ask of potential roommates. So do read through this before June 1st or before you get started with the process. So once you're ready to actually start with Step 2, you can find a link for the housing application system right here on the freshman page. So you click here, and then once you log in, you'll land back on our welcome page. To get into the application, start application, click on the academic year 2016-2017 circle, and then click to proceed to the application. So you will see that we have a new page here, find and request a roommate. So this is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Before I get into this information, it's really crucial that we all review and update or change our roommate profiles. So we're going to click here first. Down at the bottom of this page, as you may remember, has your screen name and then your web description. So this description in this text box is what everyone else in the system is going to see about you when you pop up on their screen. So take a minute and either write this or review what you've already written to make sure it's what you want other potential roommates to see. You should have a brief description of yourself. You don't need to include name or age because that already shows. But list out the things that are important to you that a potential roommate should know. You may also include where you want to live, if you have a very specific preference to that. You should also include any living, learning, or theme community preferences if you have one. So for example, if you want to be in Downing, you need to find a roommate who's also eligible for Downing. So you would probably want to add this here. You may also want to think about if there's any deal breakers. So for example, let's say you're allergic to smoke and you absolutely cannot have a roommate who smokes. That would be something you want to put here. Maybe you're allergic to peanuts. You might want to mention that here for potential people to see. So just remember that everyone sees this, so please do be respectful, but you do want to put enough information out there so people can read it and kind of make a judgment on whether or not they want to contact you or not. Once you've updated, written anything with this, hit the save and continue. So on this page, let me scroll down here for a second. A couple things I want to call your attention to. So roommate eligibility. So roommates must be of the same gender, they must be eligible to live with you and not currently a confirmed roommate of another student. You'll only be able to request individuals who have already applied and made their prepayment into the system. So anyone you see through these three sections here is eligible to be your roommate. If you are trying to find somebody that you know from high school or from a fast track and they're just not showing up in any of these search engines, they may not be eligible to be your roommate, and you can just contact us to discuss that. This little tab here, how the process works, is a pretty detailed explanation of what you're going to be doing on this page. So using these search features, which we're going to walk through here in a few minutes, you have the ability to browse through all of the other eligible freshmen in the system. So when you find your potential roommate, you can use the messaging system in here to start a conversation with that other student. And you can message and talk to as many other students as you wish before you finally confirm who you want to live with this fall. This system, when you message students, you'll get an email saying you have a new message inside the application portal. So you'll just log back in here to review and respond to any messages from other students. Once you've found your compatible roommate, you need to send them a request. So roommate request through, again, this system. Each person should request each other, and each needs to accept each other's requests. By confirming each other's requests, that means you're mutually confirming that you want to be roommates. Mutually confirmed roommates will be given the same lottery date and time for step 3 of the application, which is when you'll go in and pick your room for fall. So one thing you should note too is that the number of potential roommates in the system on any given day is dependent upon how many students are at this phase of their application. The freshman application opened up March 1st. There is quite a big group of people in there right now. But don't be discouraged if it's June 5th and you're like, oh, I just haven't found anybody I really like. Just keep checking. I would recommend maybe setting a reminder on your phone. Sorry, let me close that here. To log into the system every other day, every third day, to kind of see if there's new people in the system. You do not have to have a mutually confirmed roommate the first, the second, or the third. You do have until July 7th to confirm this. So please take your time and don't feel like you have to rush through this process. Also on this page, close this one, we've got accepted roommates. So once you've accepted a roommate, their information will populate here. If you've requested a roommate of somebody, they'll populate here so you can look at them quickly. And then these are our search engines here, and again the same ones here. So I'm going to go in reverse order here. So the suggested roommates is the same as this one here, browse matching roommates via overall percentage match. So if you click on this, it's going to take all of the questions you answered back in the roommate matching system and compare them against everyone else that's in the system. So you can see here, there's a lot of people. I kind of scroll fast, you can't see names. These people have already answered their questions, and it shows you their percentage match here. You can look at their profiles by clicking on these links if you want to learn more about them, and then you can send them messages by clicking on this message. Another way to search for roommate is using the roommate match questions. So you can search by matching question. So these are the same questions you answered in the roommate matching section here. The difference with these questions is you can preference a question and tell it to show you an exact answer. So for the sake of a good example, I'm going to scroll down at the bottom here. Let's say this question, how often you play computer or video games, is super important to me. I want to be a video game designer, and I want to have a roommate who shares my love of video games. Great. I would like a roommate who plays video games several hours a day. So by clicking on this little box here in front of the question, you are preferencing this question. And then what you want to do is you want to select, by moving this toggle around, what you want the answer to be. So again, I'm preferencing this question. I want to see several hours a day. If I hit search and then scroll back down to the bottom, it shows me all the other females in the system who answered this question in this exact way. You can see there's quite a few. I can look at their profiles. I can send them a message. So this is a really powerful way to filter out all the people in the system around a question that's very important to you. Now I know our video game question, it's kind of a silly example to use, but there's some very powerful ones in here that students tend to use. More often than not, I see students use the smoking question or the single gender floor question to find roommates. Another one that students seem to use a lot is the visitors or friends socializing, or even the significant others spending the night in the room. So again, you can use any question, you can tell it what's important to you and get the answer back that you need. Excuse me. So back up here. So searching by screen name, the only reason you would use this is if you already know who your roommate is. So if you know somebody from high school or you met somebody at Fast Track, this would be how you would find them in the system. So what you would need to do in that case is you and that person would share screen names. And again, screen names is found on the Your Roommate profile page right there. And then let's say I'm looking for Sherry. That is her screen name. Search for roommate. And there I see her. Okay, so regardless of what way you use, let's say that this is a person we want to reach out to see if they'd be a good roommate with us to start the conversation. You just click the little send message button and you can send them a message. Sherry, I suggest adding your number here too to these messages if you want to facilitate the conversation. But you can write whatever you want here and then hit send, and that will send that person a message. And again, you can message as many people as you want to start talking to them. When you get a message, you'll get a message to your @eMish account. It'll be from the Residence Life Office, and the subject line is message from potential housing roommate. So I sent this one to myself a little earlier from Sherry's account. So Sherry sent me a message that says, hey there, Swoop, looks like we'd be good roommates. Take a look at my profile. Okay, so the one thing to note on this is, yes, you're getting an email, but you cannot respond to this email, as I mentioned earlier. You can see this is from housing and it is not from the person that sent this. So to respond to Sherry's message, which is in the bold italics here, you click here to log back into the application portal, and you can respond to the message there. If someone continues a conversation, you'll also get an email saying, hey, you have new messages in the system. Again, you'd click on the link in that email to log back into the application portal. So when you get emails like this in the application portal, when you log in, they'll pop up here in your message center. So you have your first name, and then the little red box with a number in it is your messages. So if I click here and I click on my messages, it shows, hey, here's that message from Sherry. And I can open it up and see the message that she sent me. And I can reply right from there to continue the conversation. Okay? And if I hit reply, send Sherry a message, Sherry will get an email saying, hey, you have new messages in the system, and she could log into the application and respond. That's why I think it's a good idea to include like a telephone number. That way you can call or text, because I think that may be easier for some students to have these conversations versus getting an email, logging back into the application, and doing everything within the application. But that's your choice. All right, so go back to the application here. All right, so after you've talked with potential roommates and you've decided, hey, I think I found my roommate, you, again, need to request each other, like we talked about earlier. So I'm going to go here. Sorry, that logged me out. I'm going to log back in. Okay, so let's say I'm ready to request a roommate now. And let's say Sherry's that person I want to request. So I'm going to hit that little request button underneath their name to request them. A little pop-up will pop up saying, hey, this will request this person as a roommate, and that they need to accept before they're confirmed. Do you wish to continue? Yes. All right, and that sends the roommate request. And as now you can see back on my main screen here, it's got Sherry listed as my requested roommates. So by sending that request, she just got an email saying, hey, Swoop has requested you as a roommate. Please log back into the application to either cancel or accept this request. So to be mutually confirmed roommates, Sherry needs to accept my request, and then Sherry should send me a roommate request so I can accept it. All right, and then once we accept them, this person's box will move down here to the accepted roommates. And that's your ultimate goal for this section, is to have someone here in the accepted roommates. Again, the system opens June 1st and is open through 5 p.m. on July 7th. So again, take your time, log in and out of the application as much as you can, and talk to as many people as you can through the messaging system or by exchanging phone numbers or whatever. Don't rush. Take your time. Don't feel like you have to accept someone's request. If you're just not feeling it, go ahead and cancel. The system will send them an email saying, hey, you've declined in a polite way. So don't be afraid to do that if you've been requested by somebody you're just really not keen on. If you have any questions about this process or are struggling with anything, feel free to give us a call. The main housing office is 734-487-1300. Any of the students that answer the phone are highly knowledgeable in this process and can help you work through it. You can also ask for me. Again, my name is Evelyn Ben. I can actually log in as you and see what you're seeing if you're struggling. But yeah, so we're here for you. I hope this video was helpful to you, and then we will do another video for step 3 of the process, which you can see is right up here. It's next is the room search. So we'll do another video to help you navigate how to book your space for fall. Thank you and have a good day.